Hey everybody, Shawn Holsinger here from HolsingersFlyShop.com, bringing you a cool pattern that I come up with a while back. This one's called the Feather Duster Nymph. The reason I call it the Feather Duster Nymph is because I tie it from a feather duster that I picked up down at Walmart. I like to share patterns like this. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the feather duster, why I used it at the end, but I want to get into tying it first so you can see the fly. Here you're going to see a picture of the fly and then the material list to tie it. Okay, here you see the Feather Duster Nymph in the vise. Great looking pattern. Let's get into tying it. For a hook, I'm using our Holsinger's Fly Shop Jig Hooks. This one's a size 14, tied in 14, 16s, even down to 18s. And for the bead on this 14, I'm using a 3.0 millimeter black nickel. Whatever color you like there. Some people have preference. I don't. I just went black nickel on this one. It was handy on the bench, and it looks good too. So, thread, I'm using some Semperfli Nanosilk. This is 12-aught black. I like the Nanosilk. It's easy to work with, and it splits pretty easily too. Next thing I'm going to use is one of the feathers off of that feather duster that I showed you at the beginning. I got from Walmart, and I'm just going to pluck off about 3 or 4 fibers here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch them and get all the tips the same length at the end, and this is going to make my tail. So just tweak them out to where they're all the same length. Pinch them down, and we're going to set this on top of the hook. Make a couple loose wraps here just to get it on top there where we want it. Oops, got a little twisted up. And then we're going to check our length. It's a little long, so I'm just going to give it a little tug, tighten that up. I like that. I don't like a real long tail, so keep it a little bit short there like that. That's nice. And then you can wrap this up, give it a little bit of extra body there, but don't make it too thick. I like my flies thin. And then we're just going to trim that off right behind the bead. Okay, next thing we're going to put on is some this is Hens Perdigones body material. This one is the pink color. I like this color. It's really cool looking. With the black thread underneath it, it gives it kind of like a purplish blue color. Change the thread color underneath it. Make it, if you want a red one, put some red thread under it. It'll show through real well. Shell pink would be a cool color under it too. Tie that on, and then we're just going to wrap this right up there to that bead. Nice overlapping wraps just to make sure you get it covered real well. And then get it right up in behind the bead and tie it off. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take another one of those fibers off of that Ostrich Herl. And we're just going to tie it down right in there behind that bead. And what I want to do is I want to come back about 1/3 of the way. And this is going to make our thorax on this. And I'm just going to wrap it forward, making side-by-side wraps. I want to get about 3 wraps here. And what that's going to do is it's going to hold up the next step here. It's going to hold it out a little bit, make it a little bit buggier looking. And just give you a little bit nicer. I could have went a little bit further back on that, but that's fine. It'll work good. Now I'm going to split my thread, and I'm going to do a dubbing loop here with a split thread. So what I'm going to do is take a bodkin and just rub my thread on the bottom to flatten it out. Once I get it nice and flat, and you'll see it flatten out and get wider, then just take that bodkin, separate that. Do it one more time here. Separate it into 2 different pieces there. And we're going to put a little bit of dubbing. This is Red Squirrel Nymph abdomen, or thorax I mean. And you see how little of it I have. It takes very, very little. Put that in there. Give a spin on your bobbin. Let that twist up there. And then once we get a nice tight noodle on there with all those fibers in place, just going to make 1 or 2 wraps here. And there's our collar on it. It's going to be a nice buggy collar. And it's going to be just like the Feather Duster with that collar there. That's why I called this fly the Feather Duster whenever I come up with it. Whip finish it off and we're all done, and you got a great looking nymph here that's going to catch a lot of fish. Trim off if you get any long ones like that one hanging down there. I don't want it to be too long. I still want it to sink, but I do want it buggy. So there we go. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. I like that a lot. Alright guys, hope you like that pattern. It's a really cool one I come up with, and I like it a lot. The reason that you can see why it's called the Feather Duster Nymph, if you look at the profile of it with that collar, it's got that collar pushing back, and of course your tail sticking out the back of it. But go to Walmart, pick up one of these feather dusters. You got a lot of flies you can tie out of it. You know, your blacks, and in the middle, a lot of times what I was looking at, the middle ones are a lot of times smaller and they're more of a gray. I think the gray actually is the female feathers. The black on the outside is the mature male birds. But there's a lot of these smaller ones with nice small fibers, which works great for tails and small collars on small flies like I did right here. So great pattern, simple thing you can pick up. The bad thing about these is they only come in one color, which is natural. They're not dyed. They're not going to waste their money on something at Walmart dyeing feathers just for the look. But anyways, cool pattern. Any of the other materials like that Hens Perdigone body or anything like that, you can find at our shop at holsingersflyshop.com. Thanks for watching, guys. I really enjoy bringing these videos to you and being creative, coming up with new patterns like this. You know, that's what keeps it fun for me, is getting to be creative and work on things that I'm going to catch fish on. So if you want any of these flies or any of my other flies, you can email me at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com, or if you're interested in a guide trip. And please take the time and drop a comment down below. If you like this comment, you think it's going to work for you, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear about it, and it helps boost the post up a lot. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next week when I bring you another video, I'm Shawn Holsinger.